Hey, we're back with Box Office Maniacs and our next movie in the Big Five.
A little bit more enthusiasm, Vince. This is the Big Freaking Five.
Okay.
That wasn't it, Vince. That wasn't the enthusiasm I was looking for.
So we're back with the Big Five on Box Office. Wait, I showed the 4. I did the 4 again.
Huh? What are we doing now?
We're back with the Big Five.
We're back again. 3 times in the same review we're back.
You're gonna keep stopping me. And we've got another huge superhero movie to review for you.
Now, this is our 3rd one in a row. I mean, come on. We had... I don't remember what we did now. We had Captain America.
Okay.
Alright, let me try that again. First we had Captain America, then we have Spider-Man, and now the X-Men. I mean, it's just been a superhero month so far.
Superhero onslaught.
It's unbelievable.
Were you waiting on this movie? I mean, really? For me, I don't know. When I saw the trailer for this, I was kind of excited about it.
I was stoked for this movie. Actually, it's probably, out of all the superhero movies, besides Guardians of the Galaxy, this was the one I was most excited about seeing.
Really?
Because I love the X-Men. I mean, I've liked all the X-Men. Even the 3rd X-Men movies I've liked. Even though that's the one everybody don't like. I've liked all of them. I mean, it's one of my favorite franchises in superheroes. I love the X-Men.
Well, I've liked all the X-Men movies. About the only one I think was the weakest was actually not the 3rd one. And like you said, everyone hates that one for some reason. And it wasn't that one. Actually, I liked that one. But I didn't care for... The only one I didn't care for was X-Men Origins.
Are you talking about the Wolverine movie?
Yeah.
That is the X-Men, but that's Wolverine. You can't compare that to with the rest of the X-Men movie.
It has something to do with this film as well.
Yeah, but that's kind of its own franchise. I'm talking about as in the X-Men franchise, not so much the Wolverine franchise.
Yeah, but it's connected.
Well, I know it's connected, but it's not part of the X-Men whole that's going on with the X-Men.
But it is, because once you see this film, you'll understand how it's connected.
Well, Vince, don't make me hit you. Don't make me hit you, Vince.
It's connected into this movie. So, you know, that's probably, out of all the X-Men films that they've made, that's probably the weakest one.
Well, if you want to talk Wolverine, I wasn't crazy about either one of those films. I love the X-Men movies, the Wolverine movies. I could have done without.
I don't know. I liked the second one.
It was alright. It was no X-Men.
It was better than Origins.
We're talking the X-Men here, Vince. We're talking Professor Xavier. We're talking, you know...
What are you talking about? You see, you don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the freaking X-Men. X-Men Days of the Future Past. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about now. That's the film we just saw and that we're reviewing at this moment.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Story Time with David Graves.
I was really pumped to go see this film. Except, you know, I didn't realize 4-year-olds were big fans of this movie. I mean, we went to go see it, and some idiot guy brought a 2 or 3-year-old kid, sat right behind us. Kids started screaming before the movie started. Just... And I told my wife, I was like, there's no way I'm sitting here. So we got up and moved, and went all the way to the back of the theater, and thank God we did, because through the entire movie, you could hear that kid screaming down there, and the stupid parent never took the kid out of the theater. That just drives me crazy. It just drives me nuts. Absolutely crazy. But we're talking about the X-Men, so let's get talking about the X-Men, Vince.
No. I think the 3 and 4-year-old, you know, kid thing that you're talking about, I think that's more interesting.
Well, something else happened, too. This old guy come walking in, and he starts walking down the front aisle, and he looks at all these people, and he's like, when did you guys get here? You took all the good seats. Anyway, I love this movie. That's what I'm trying to get to. This, actually, out of all the superhero movies that we've seen so far, which is pretty much all we've seen so far, this is my favorite one.
Well, out of all the X-Men films, all of them, even the Wolverine films, out of all the X-Men films altogether, I think this was the best one.
Absolutely. This had everything. It had, time travel, and then it took all the great elements from First Class and put them in here and mixed them with all the great elements of the past X-Men movies, and everything clashed in this film, and it was just spectacular. I just love this movie. And one of the fantastic things about this film was the acting. The acting from the younger Professor X and, of course, Magneto was just incredible, outstanding in this movie. They did such a spectacular job.
Well, and even in First Class, they were really great in there, but in this one, they're even better.
Amazing acting in this film by everybody. And just the story here was far better than any X-Men story they've done. Even the Wolverine films, believe it or not, it was better than those. But yeah, hands down the best X-Men story ever.
Rolling Stone or something, one of those magazines or something was saying this is the best superhero movie ever. No, I wouldn't say it was the best superhero movie ever, but best of the X-Men films, definitely.
Yeah, that's still the Avenger still holds that title, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too.
We're gonna say you're talking about the Wolverine movies. Hugh Jackman was so much better in this film than he was in the Wolverine movies. I don't understand why he's so great in the X-Men movies, but yet when he give him a movie by himself, he's not as good as he was in this film.
But as far as him playing the Wolverine in both those films, I thought he was great in both those movies, and even better in here.
This was the Wolverine I loved in the first two X-Men movies. The third X-Men movie, not so much, and not the Wolverine movies, but they nailed him in the first two X-Men movies. And I think one of the reasons is because Bryan Singer is back to direct this film. And one thing I really want to point out real quick too here is what a fantastic soundtrack in this film. I just loved the freaking music in this movie. It was really intense, and it was just a great soundtrack to this film.
Plus, they had one of my favorite all time favorite singer bands. Period. Alice Cooper.
Uh, that was great. And it was a period film. The whole middle of the movie took place in 1973, and that was really cool. I love seeing all that. That was really awesome the way they did that. That was a lot of fun.
The one thing I was really surprised with and enjoyed in this film was the fact that it was not only a sequel to the X-Men trilogy that's out there, but it was a sequel to X-Men First Class, as well as being a sequel to the Origins and Wolverine. It's like all of them combined into this film, and it's a sequel to everything.
Everything just came together for this film, and you know, really, the X-Men is what started the whole Marvel universe as in franchise in the movies because they took a chance with it when it very first came out, and of course, it was a huge success. So it's kind of what created all this awesome that we have now. And I'm really glad they're back making this film as great as they possibly could.
You have to watch it from the very beginning to the very end, because if you don't, you're gonna miss something. And if you don't miss something in this movie, you're gonna miss it because you didn't. If you didn't see the other films, you're gonna miss it.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend going back and watching all the X-Men movies. Not only are they awesome, most of them, you'll have a great time. When you go see this one, you'll even appreciate it more if you haven't seen the other ones. And after watching this, I really wanted to go back and start watching them again. That's just one of the things that came out of the theater. Like, man, I really like to go back and rewatch those movies because I enjoyed this one so much.
That's what I was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at.
So let's bring up the Maniac meter and see what we're going to give this like you don't already know.
I think it was the best of the X-Men's films. I don't think it was the best superhero movie, but it was a great movie. It was great. I would love to see it come back to where it needed to be. And I think having Bryan Singer direct this movie, like he directed the first two, awesome. That was, the best thing they could have done for it. If there's anybody that's going to know what the X-Men are like, it's him, and he's brought it back to where it needs to be. And I would have to give the movie a definite 5 out of 5.
Because, yeah, I mean, I'm a big X-Men fan. I've always loved the X-Men. Even when I was a kid, I loved the X-Men. And it's just to see them do it like this and do it so well and be the best out of the whole series. I mean, come on. This is great. This is what summer movies are all about. Action, just great acting, a lot of fun. I mean, there was so much coolness in this movie. And I just came out of the theater all pumped up and ready, for another X-Men film. And that's, this movie gets the bomb!
What's the next superhero film on our list? I think the only thing left is Guardians of the Galaxy, isn't it?
I think so. And that don't come out until like August.
So in between, we'll have to endure Transformers.
Ride the big dinosaur. The dinosaur. Optimus Prime on a dinosaur.
And then there's Hercules.
No, there isn't, Vince. Also, as always, check out our Facebook page and get on there and like us and subscribe to the site if you like our reviews.
Our Facebook page already has 100 likes.
Boom!
So we got at least 100 people that liked our page. I don't know why 100 people haven't watched the videos yet.
But they're on their way, Vince. Once the future is changed, we're going to go back and change the future. And then when we come back in time, we're going to like 1 million hits a video.
Yeah, you're going to have to hold my head there. You're going to have to hold my head in place and make sure I don't, wiggle around. And if I don't start rocking. But, of course, if you play Alice Cooper, I'm going to start rocking.
I was really pumped to go see this film. There's no way I'm sitting here. Because I love the X-Men. 4-year-olds were big fans of this movie. I mean, I've liked all the X-Men. The Wolverine movies, and I love the X-Men. The film is epic. I love the X-Men movies. It's incredible. And hopefully, they'll be as good as the X-Men. That's right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the freaking X-Men.